Well, good day, everybody. This is Charmaine Miller, and thanks for joining me again as we together journey on the road of continual learning and personal growth. A special thank you to those of you who have personally mentioned how these videos have been helping you and how you've been sharing these with your colleagues as well. Awesome. Keep it rolling. Again, I've had a recent encounter that got me thinking deeply about how it affects and may be applied to other areas of my life, including the workplace. I had just dropped my children off to school, and I decided that I would drive for a bit in silence. Now, this was a tall order, and those who know me might know why, because it's unusual because I always have music or some kind of training CD playing and blasting from my stereo. But this particular morning, it was quiet. I just decided, let me just listen to the silence. Within seconds, I became aware of a strange noise coming from my vehicle. So I leaned out the window, just to make sure that it was really coming from me. And to my surprise, it was. I quickly sent a voice message to my hubby describing the sound and where it seemed to be coming from. He knew right away that the brake pads were to blame and perhaps that they needed to be changed. Wow. I began thinking, what if I had not turned off the stereo? How long would that issue have gone undetected and getting worse? Then I thought about it, thought about some more. And I wondered if there were other things that we perhaps need to turn down or even turn off in our lives so that we can get in tune with what it is that we need to do to go to the next level and be better performers. And this led me to today, to the 4 C's that I believe we all can turn down so that we can turn up the positives in our lives. So I want to speak to you today about turning down so that you can turn up your productivity, turn up your performance. First, let's commit to turning down the noise of chatter. Yeah, you heard it, chatter, empty chatter. I'm talking about those meaningless conversations about what so-and-so was wearing yesterday, or what happened in the parking lot, or who needs to lose some weight. Listen, such conversations don't add any value to you or to the persons you're talking to. And shouldn't we be about adding value? So ask yourself, is this conversation encouraging, motivating, or inspiring? When you ask yourself that, then you'll know whether or not you should be continuing in that kind of conversation. If it isn't, then it's simply meaningless chatter. So turn it down. Secondly, turn down the criticisms. I'm sure you know what I mean here. You've got to turn down the noise that comes from cynical, critical people who try to make you feel as though they have it all together, when in actuality, their lives are falling apart. Maybe they might not be critical about you, but they criticize others around you. They criticize the boss, the supervisor, the security guard, the janitor, anybody who crosses their paths. They find something negative to say about them. But in their books, no one ever does anything right, Unfortunately, though, women are most susceptible to this disease of criticism. Yeah, don't press pause now. You know I'm talking the truth. Anyway, listen, don't let people dirty your mind with their critical comments. Trust me when I say, just how they talk about others to you, they'll talk about you to others. So, turn it down. Turn it down. Honestly, you really have to pray for those people, because these are the people who, when you think about it, it's a reflection of what's going on within them. You know the saying, hurting people hurt other people. Yeah, they need help big time. So turn down the chatter and turn down the criticisms. The third thing. Now, those who, I think you're going to really resonate with this. Turn down the complaints. Those who are always at odds with something and they have an excuse why they can't perform properly at work. Yeah, those complainers? This class too big, man. Man, these children can't learn. Man, they give me too much work. Oh, I tired. Oh, I'm stressed out. They just don't pay me enough to do that. Sounds familiar? You fill in the blanks. I'm sure you've heard a few complainers. Well, I hope it's not familiar to you because you're the one doing the complaining. Complaining people drain your energy, man. They sap all the life out of you, huh? You leave their presence wondering to yourself, is there anything good in the world? Anything good happening today? Even in a blatantly negative and hostile situation, there's always some good. You can find it. You've just got to train yourself to look for it. After all, what you focus on expands. So turn down the chatter, turn down the criticisms, and turn down the complaints. The final thing I want to say, this final one might take you by surprise, but it has to be mentioned. Hearing folks toot our horns about things we've done in the past may sometimes slow us down from where we need to be. So I'm going to ask you to turn down the compliments. Sounds strange, eh? We can get stuck relishing on past accomplishments that we think we've arrived. Like there's no more uncharted waters to explore. Turn it down. Turn down the constant compliments, or at least don't dwell on them. Don't gloat. Oh yes, I've done this. Otherwise, your last success will hinder your future progress. Yeah. So turn down the chatter. Turn down the criticisms. Turn down the complaints. And even turn down the compliments. These are the things you're hearing from other people all the time. Sometimes you just gotta turn it down. Now, I know some of you are saying that you don't want to turn it down. Some of them, you just wish you could just turn it off altogether. I hear you. But there are so many situations when this is not possible. We are around people, we're working around people. This is when we need to move to just minimize it if possible, And we could do that. There are two things I want to suggest to you to help you minimize those things. First of all, you can do this by choosing to avoid such people, if possible. Like sit at the other end of the conference table, walk down a different hallway. Don't spend too much time in the coffee break room, or just avoid them totally. Perhaps when you go in the restroom, move quickly. Avoid. The second thing I want to suggest to you to help you minimize the chatter and the complaints and the criticisms is at times you might just need to acknowledge them. Yeah, you heard me right. Give them a chance to vent. Get it off their chest. For some, this might be the end of their complaining or their criticizing. They may have only needed a listening ear. Of course, for those repeat offenders who keep doing it over and over and over again, employ the first strategy: avoid at all costs. Well, that's all I want to share with you today. I hope you are feeling really invigorated about turning down so that you can turn up. You want to be more productive. You want to be positive. You want to have a better outlook. You want to move ahead in your job and even in your personal growth. Yeah, you got to turn it down. Turn it down. Perhaps even turn it off so you can turn it up. If this video has helped you or encouraged you in any way, feel free to share it. Tag a friend and subscribe to our YouTube page, Proactive Skill Developers, so you don't miss out on any of the upcoming videos. Now, perhaps you can even take a few seconds and type a little note on our channel about how the video resonated with you. We surely would appreciate hearing from you. In the meantime, let's choose to keep learning and growing, because what we learn becomes a part of who we are. And like Einstein said, once we stop learning, we start dying. So never stop learning, because as you know, life never stops teaching. Until next time, to your success.